Hi everyone, it's Darlene. Welcome to this week's card. Today I'm making a Valentine's Day card with two different stamp sets and some acetate. They're called window sheets made by Stampin' Up. They come in a pack of two 12 by 12. The first stamp set I'm using is by Simon Says Stamp. It's called Filled with Love, and it comes with some matching dies. This is the one, I actually only purchased one Valentine's set this year, and that's the one I selected. And then I found this really cute penny black embellishment stamp set with washi tape and twine and some banners. I just thought it was really cool, so I'm going to be using that also. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the jar out of my stamp set, and I'm going to stamp it on the acetate with some Stays-On ink. And that's because Stays-On will adhere very well to the acetate. It didn't work very well the first time actually, but I stamped it again. I just didn't get good coverage. I think I just didn't ink it up well enough. But anyway, so now I'm going to just take some Neenah Solar White cardstock and take another two stamps from that set. I'm going to stamp the tag and a little message that says Filled with Love. And then I've got the matching dies, so I'm just going to adhere those with masking tape just to keep them in place while I run it through the Sizzix. And there's actually a hole on that tag die, so that it'll punch a little hole at the top of the tag. Okay, I'm going to take my jar here and I'm going to place it where I'm going to glue it on eventually. And I'm just going to kind of make a few pencil marks around there so I know the border of my jar. I'm using 3 different Memento Luxe pigment inks, and I'm just going to grab 3 different of these hearts, these little sweethearts, and I'm going to randomly stamp them like they're falling in the jar. And these Memento Luxe inks work really great on clear stamps. You get really nice coverage. So I'm going to randomly do some in pink, and then this is actually called Angel Pink. The first one was Pear Tart, and this is Dandelion. And then I'm going to erase my pencil marks. And now it's time to put some twine on there. And what I did was I took a glue dot and I put the dot where my bow was going to be, right there on the acetate. And then I put the edge, I slowed it down here, the edge of my twine right in there. And then I wrapped it all the way around the jar. And then when I got back around to the glue dot, I just pressed it right in there and I trimmed it right close to the edge. So kind of like the two ends meet right there on the glue dot. I'm going to show it to you here if you can see it. I'm not sure you can really see it very well. But the bow's going to be on top of it so you won't see where the twine meets. Okay, I'm just going to make a bow here. Usually it takes a couple of times to get it right. And then I'm going to put a glue dot on top of my glue dot. And I was going to put the bow, but then I decided I should put the tag first. So I'm going to thread the same twine through the hole that the die made. And then I'm going to take those two ends and I'm going to push them down into that glue dot that I just placed on there. So my tag is just going to kind of hang freely. I actually picked it up and showed it to you here. Yeah. So you can see how it's just the two ends right there on top of the glue dot. And then finally one more glue dot. And I put it on there flat, but then after I did that I realized I really should have kind of twirled it through in my fingers to make it into a ball because it was a little wide. So I just took my paper piercer and I kind of smushed it together so it would be a little smaller, and then I put my bow on it, and when I pressed it all down together it all stuck really well. And it really didn't stick out that like far up. Okay, so this is some vellum bond glue, and I'm using it because I don't want the glue to show very much through my window sheet here. So I'm going to apply it with a toothpick because I just want to put it where my Stays-On ink is. I'll show you a little closer here. You really don't need much, just a tiny little bit all the way around the edge. And then, I know it's a little blurry here, but I also applied it to the back of the jar on top of the twine. And then I'm just going to press it to my paper and it holds in place great. So you can see how cool that looks with the window sheet. Alright, now I'm going to work on the base of the card. So I'm taking this washi tape piece and some VersaFine black ink. And I think the washi tape is made to not be very straight, the stamp, but I wanted it to be really clean and straight. So just kind of straightening it up a little bit as best I could. I'm just going to stamp it right there on the edge of the inside of the card. Wash my stamp off just a little bit. I usually use baby wipes for washing stamps. And I'm going to mark the edge of that washi tape and trim it. So now my front panel is shorter than the back panel. I'm taking the same pink I used before, the Angel Pink, and a sponge dauber, and I'm just sponging it on, and this ink works so great when you're applying it to paper. You don't have to worry about it blending into the paper and making marks. It just lays on top of your paper so you can blend it as long as you need to, and then it'll stay wet long enough for you to emboss. So I'm just going to put some clear embossing powder on there, and I'm going to heat it up so it'll be nice and shiny. Alright, so I trimmed my jar panel, and now I'm just going to draw some lines, and I'm going to use a ruler because I want it to be nice and straight. And I'm just using a Copic liner. It's a 0.3 liner. And then I'm just going to use my ATG tape runner to adhere it to the front panel. And that's it. So not too many steps. I think it looks pretty cute. I like the shininess of the pink and the acetate together, and then kind of cutting that first, the front side of the card shorter than the back. I just wanted to do something a little bit different. So anyway, that's it. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next week. Thanks for watching.